714, Steve and Ted here on KNSS, and with us this morning is U.S. Representative Ron Estes from Washington, D.C. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Well, we're doing fine. A little wet here in D.C. I doubt if it's quite as wet as it is back here in Kansas, huh?
It's not nearly quite as wet here. It's unfortunate. I think we've got enough rain for a while. We need to let it dry out, save some of it for July and August.
You know, of course, the top of the news we got every day has to do with investigations and committee hearings and so forth in Washington. And I've got to be something else going on there. I mean, is there other business that's happening in D.C. now?
Yeah, there really is. And it's unfortunately the news gets taken up with hearings and investigations, as you said, instead of some of the real things that we need to be working on. And this week there's several things going on through activities that I'm involved in. We've got a trade subcommittee discussion this week about the USMCA, which, I think that's one of the most important things that we can get done this year in Congress, of getting that U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement done to replace NAFTA and moving trade forward. NAFTA was so great for farmers and manufacturers in Kansas, and this will be even better in terms of helping make sure that some of our agriculture products, dairy and that in particular, is open. There's better enforcement for labor unions and not necessarily unions per se, but making sure that workers have a reasonable salary within North America. Mm-hmm. And so we're wanting to get that deal done and want to make sure it's enforceable and open up Kansas products for more trade.
Are you hearing from constituents back here about the tariffs and the possible impact of tariffs on farmers and others as well?
So the tariffs are let's be clear. I mean, tariffs are not what we want long term. I mean, it's a tax. It slows down open trade. It disrupts that process. The president and the administration have been using tariffs to force some of the other countries to come to the bargaining table to revisit some of these trade agreements that were written years ago, decades ago in some cases, and that need to be revisited, brought up to the 21st century, as well as address some of the inequities in them. For years and years, most U.S. trade agreements were slanted towards the other country because we were the dominant economy and we wanted to help share that growth. Well, now a lot of other countries are strong and developed countries, and we need to make sure that there's equitable trade agreements. And so the tariffs are a painful process to get there in a short-term pain, but ultimately what people want is to have that open markets, and that's a lot of folks that I'm hearing say, let's get through this short-term process so that we can get the better trade agreements.
And of course, at the top of the news, Iran. Apparently, we're eyeball to eyeball with Iran again over the possibility of having some skirmishes there. What's going on with Iran, you think?
It really is. It's unfortunate that there are people in the world that really just want to do evil. And, Iran's proven time and time again that regardless of how they're treated, they want to go out and disrupt and create insurrection and fund terrorists, frankly. Today, the House of Representatives is going to get a classified briefing from Mike Pompeo and some of the other intelligence officers around, focused specifically on Iran and some of those issues there. So, that's one of those areas that we need to keep our eye on. The world's still a dangerous place, and we need to help continue to weigh in to help make sure that things get straightened out in the Middle East so that it provides a peaceful environment for all of us.
Well, listen, thank you for spending some time with us this morning. As always, we appreciate the update from Washington, D.C. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
U.S. Representative Ron Estes with us this morning, 4th District Congressman here for Central Kansas.